Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. And today I'm gonna be bringing you the review for K episode 1. First thing off the bat I want to say is that this has a really good first episode, so if you're looking for a new anime to watch, I highly recommend this one. The episode itself starts off and we're introduced to all the members of this gang, who we find out is led by Makoto, who is also known as the Third King, and they've broken into this guy's house because they're looking for someone. And the reason why they've broken into this guy's house is because the gun that was used by the guy that they're looking for was made by this guy's company, if that made sense. But they find out that he knows nothing because one of the gang members is the little girl. She has this marble and it looks like it can either read minds or tell if someone is telling the truth or something like that. So they find out that he doesn't know anything and they decide to leave. They're leaving now. They bump into the Blues, which seem to be like a enforcement group of people, and they end up having a fight. We see the start of what we can assume was a fight. And before this fight starts off, we have Makito now, and he activates this power, which is called Sanctum. And when he does activate this power, this sword, which was called, hold on, the sword of the Damocles, something like that. The sword of the Damocles appears in the sky, and also once he does that, the Blues activate, which seems to be the same Sanctum power, and another sword appears in the sky. I don't know if that's also known as the sword of the Damocles, but another one appears in the sky, and that ends that bit. After that, we are introduced into another character, which is Yashiro. And Yashiro seems to be like a carefree guy, not looking for any trouble. You find out that we find out that he knows everyone within his class, but he doesn't really hang out with anyone in particular. And we get to see him going around the school getting food from different people around the school. So maybe we can assume that he's not from a very rich family. Maybe he doesn't have parents because if he had parents, then maybe they would prepare him. He would have lunch, or maybe he has bad parents. We don't know that yet, but we see him going around the school looking for food, basically, and we get that for a few minutes. Then after that, we get him going back to class, and there's this girl who needs someone to do a favor for the student council committee, and then no one wants to do it. So Yashiro he offers to do this for her. So we have them talking now, and we basically find out that you need a PA to get within and out of the school, and Yashiro doesn't seem to have his one at the time, and he's not bothered about that because he knows a shortcut in and out of the school. So he goes now, and we basically have him doing this errand for the student council, and that's when a member of the Third King's crew sees him walking on the street. So he sees him now, and he texts the rest of the crew, and they're just basically trying to ambush him, and they get him into this alleyway, and that's when he's saved by the Black Dog. That's his like alias. I can't remember his real name, so I'll probably butcher it. So I'm just gonna call him the Black Dog for all of my reviews on K. But we get the Black Dog now. He saves him, and we found out that the Black Dog is the form, and this is a quote from him, the former vessel of the seventh king, and he's basically here to kill Yashiro. And he shows us a video of what seems to be Yashiro killing the seventh king with a gun. And during the video, this guy that looks like Yashiro, he says that he's the seventh king, known as the colorless king, and that he's here waiting for someone. And that's more or less the end of the episode. It's not the last thing that happens in the episode. I'm going to talk about that in a second. It kind of slides into my rating, so I'll talk about the end of the episode there, because it influences my rating. For my rating, I'm gonna give it 4 stars, because it just throws a lot of questions up into the air, and it's really got me hooked on this anime. Like, I want to know more. Like, now, like, some of the questions that it just throws up into the air, and it's only just the first episode. Like, for example, what is Sanctum and what is it capable of? What are these kings that we're hearing about? Because we find out that Makoto is the third king, and we find out that this person who killed the seventh king, who's also calling himself the seventh king, the colorless king. So what are these kings like? Do they rule over something? Do they have like land, people? What are these kings? Also, what were those 2 swords in the sky? What's that? What's going on there with those 2 swords in the sky? But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's throwing out a lot of questions. Like, also, at the end of the episode, I mentioned I wanted to talk about this at the end. At the end of the episode, the leader of the Blues says to Makoto, who seems to got captured, so that he must have mean he lost the fight back in the beginning of the episode. But that makes me wonder, how did these guys get away? But yeah, the leader of the Blues, he says to the third king, it's so unlike you to pull off a cheap move. What is he talking about? And also, at the end of the episode, the black dog, he says to Yoshiro, that's you in the video, and he replies, sure looks like it. And the way he says it, is he trying to protect himself or what? Like, see what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, and another question, that who's the guy who says that Japan's going to be destroyed? See what I'm talking about already? Like, there's a lot of questions, and we're only in first episode in. Like, see what I'm saying? Are you not hooked? I'm hooked. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Give me your opinions on the first episode of K. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take care. Have a nice day.